Good morning. This is Ron Brown. It's May 17th, 2015. I'm going to continue to talk about the group inclusion report, but also I'm going to talk about how to track earnings and earnings response using Thinkorswim. Now, in HGSI is a great program, but there are better ways to track earnings responses than trying to do it in HGSI. And I just want to show you how I use Thinkorswim, and hopefully this will help you. That's a reliable and precise method to track a stock's response to earnings. It should be having an apostrophe in there. I'm doing this on May 17th, 2025. The market is your teacher. Remember, any stock index or ETF mentioned in this presentation is not a recommendation to buy or sell. All trading strategies are used at your own risk. Okay, I've got a four chart layout here. This information is intraday information, so you can see this is blank, but here's a daily chart with a 3, 6, and 18 crossover. I use that for momentum. This is just a daily chart here without any indicators on it. And this is a weekly chart. Now notice on these charts that there is a blue light bulb. That indicates that those are earnings dates, and this is a conference call indicator. Now to set this up so you can track earnings response, and by the way, this is Netflix. You can see what happened after earnings. This earnings here must have disappointed a little bit, but it soon turned around. This provided great momentum. This provided great momentum. This provided great momentum here. And there is a new earnings report coming up on July 14th. So visually, it's a great way to see what has happened when earnings were reported. Let's go clear back here. You can see that Netflix was down around 346.51, and look where it is now. This is a response to earnings. Now, to get these indicators on your screen, where you go here is you click on the, if I can find it right here, this wheel, and click on equities, and this right here, show corporate actions. When I deselect that and I hit apply, notice that information is now gone. When I reapply it, show corporate actions, hit apply, that information's back. Now, here's the weekly chart and the daily chart. So I get a close-up here of response, and I can maximize this cell. And if I want to go to a different time frame, I just have it on daily here. If I want a 6-month daily, I change to that, and now you can see the response to the earnings here. And if you hold your mouse over it, it tells you what the estimate was and what the actual was. 586 estimated, 661 actual on 417, and look at the response. This thing has been going straight up. I'm going to minimize this, and I'm going to move my mouse over here on this question mark. It says earnings are going to be reported on 7/17 after the market Central Time. So not only do we have past earnings and the response to past earnings, but we know when the earnings date is coming up. So if you don't like to take positions right before earnings date, you'll know when to avoid that. Now, another thing about Thinkorswim, if you go under your Analyze tab, under the Analyze tab, if you go to Earnings and then type in a symbol or link a symbol, for example, I'm just going to click on Netflix here. I'm going to link my red symbols because this here is linked. This shows me what happened on with Netflix on different quarterly earnings. But down here is the most useful part. This is the actual, the yellow line, and the Wall Street estimates. And you can see the trend lines as they were going down. So if the actual is above The green, that means that the actual earnings are better than what Wall Street analysts were predicting. At least that's the way I read it. If you look down at the bottom, you can see the actual date of the earnings right here, July 19th, October 18th, January of 23, April, and then July of this year. And it shows the charts up here. I don't look at this up here. I think this down here is the most useful and interesting part. Okay, now I'm going to go to my market watch. I want to show you that every day you can see what earnings are coming out that day. If this box is checked over here, I have earnings and economic events checked on here, but there are other things that you can select on here, like dividends. If I select dividends, you can see stocks that are declaring dividends that day. If I take the economic events out, then it's just left with earnings. But the most useful part is having these little icons show up. I think that's the correct word. And you can see the response to the earnings. Now, let me do one more thing, and I'm going to end this short video. I'm going to use it in conjunction with Thinkorswim in conjunction with HGSI. So I'll go into the designer. Here's the most recent top 50 group inclusion report. I'm going to go up here. I'm going to copy these symbols. File, copy symbols to clipboard. Comma separated list. You come down here and you select edit my watch list. I'm going to import. I'm going to paste these symbols from the clipboard, and I'm going to replace the current symbols and save it. And these are the stocks as of the 16th of May that are showing up. Okay, so this is the group inclusion report. I'm going to click on Adobe. Notice I have this red linked to all of my charts, so it appears instantly. If this were intraday information, if it were Monday rather than Saturday, I'd have charts over here too. But this is Adobe, and you can see that on this date, earnings were estimated at 406, almost 407. It came in at 508, and yet the stock fell. So evidently analysts were looking for greater numbers, but more than likely it's just because the market was selling off that this stock sold off too. And then you can see as the market turned around, Adobe took off. This is a weekly chart. Here's a daily chart, and you can see the turnaround right here. The 3 crossed the 6 back here and then crossed the 15. It's been moving up ever since. Now let's go in and I'll click on Analyze. And Adobe is linked right now. There's no information showing up there, but this is interesting. You can see yellow means the actual earnings compared to what Wall Street was looking for, and Adobe has outperformed with actual earnings on all of these dates, yet the stock was going down sharply here because the market was selling off. This is risk off, this is risk on. But once you get set up, you can have your stocks linked here. Here's HIMS, which is, shooting straight up over the past 3 weeks. Let's just go into Analyze. And here is what actual was. Here's what the street was looking for. You can see the trend lines is up sharply, and this, what the street was looking for, was flat. So this is a great way just to keep track of what's going on in response to earnings. Okay, that's it for this video. I just wanted to make a short video to show how you could use Thinkorswim in conjunction with HGSI. Thanks for listening.